Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the last day of National Apprenticeship Week and the last webinar that LMP Education are hosting today. So my name's Anna Sheriff. I'm Partnership Manager here at LMP Education, and I'm joined by my colleague.
I'm Charlotte and I'm the recruitment team leader. So just for today's session, a little bit of an agenda. So we will be covering the LMP overview, the benefits of an apprenticeship, how to utilise your levy, and recruiting an apprentice. Over to you.
So a little bit of an overview for LMP. So LMP are a work-based training provider. We operate nationwide. We've been delivering training for over 22 years now. We deliver a wide range of funded and apprenticeships in different sectors. So we include education in that. We also support early years, finance, business and professional sectors. We're rated good by Ofsted, so we last had our inspection in July 2025. We've got a few other accolades. So we're Platinum Investors in People, Gold accredited for leaders in safeguarding, and we've also been rated #1 best training provider in the UK by Rate My Apprenticeship. We are part of Supporting Education Group, which is the 6th largest independent training provider in England. It's just a few of our awards.
So why LMP Education? So LMP, we work as a training provider and deliver apprenticeships to the highest possible standards and work closely with our employers, meaning that it benefits both organisations and learners. We access a wide variety of standards and levels to suit your organisation needs, which we will go through them a little bit later. And all qualifications are credited with a certification upon completion. We have support from our dedicated tutors, assessors, and quality assurance managers, ensuring high quality delivery. We do use a blended delivery model, which is remote learning and some also face-to-face. And you will also have a dedicated LMP account manager to advise how to best utilise your levy and upskilling members of staff. And also you would have access to an e-portfolio account, which is Bud, and that can access resources, online sessions and your assignments. So the benefits of an apprenticeship, so you can develop and upskill existing staff, which can support in career growth, keeping up to date with latest methods and technology. It can improve on staff retention, so it lowers the turnover and also helps with recruitment costs. Attracting new talent to the education sector. So apprenticeships build skilled staff, they aid recruitment of quality assistants and promote diversity in the workforce. Make most of your government funded training programs. So the apprenticeships use levy funds for affordable on the job staff and training and reducing cost as well. Strengthening leadership and succession planning. So apprenticeships do create a clear leadership pathway, preparing staff for senior roles and enhancing school performance and student outcomes. So better trained staff boosts teaching standards, it supports student wellbeing and also can handle challenges like behaviour and safeguarding.
So just a little bit of an overview of the apprenticeship levy and what it is and what it's about. So the apprenticeship levy was introduced back in April 2017, which seems like quite a way ago now. So this was introduced to increase employer investment, looking at skills development through apprenticeships. Its aim was to enhance the quality and quantity of apprenticeships that are available throughout the UK. So currently, paying into the levy, who pays into the levy? So employers with an annual pay bill of 3 million or more are required to pay into the levy, and that's at a rate of 0.5% of their payroll. At present, each employer receives an annual allowance of 15,000 to offset their levy payments. Next slide, thank you. So again, just a little bit more of an overview. So payment and collection. So payment and collection, the levy is collected via PAYE. Employers can access their levy funds through their digital apprenticeship account, or DAS as we like to call it. I've just included a little link below. Generally, you used to be able to log in with a secondary. You normally have a secondary login system now. So you normally have to put your email address in, and then you have like a mobile number or something. It will send you a code. The use of funds. So the funds at the moment can only be used to support apprenticeships. And at present, employers have up to 24 months to spend those funds before they expire and then are returned. So in summary, at present, the apprenticeship levy has led to a significant increase in the number of apprenticeships, which is fantastic. So over 1.6 million apprentices have started their training since its introduction. So it's clearly working. But I think it's, with the changes coming in, we're looking at certain tweaks to make it a little bit more flexible for employers. So again, looking at the apprenticeship levy and sort of upskilling your workforce, we want to work with you and develop your workforce to become, more skilled. And also looking at how we can support them and create programs tailored to their needs. So the summary in terms of the apprenticeship levy at the moment, it's crucial, encouraging employers to invest in the development of their workforce, but it's also supporting smaller businesses to access training opportunities. So the changes so far that are going to be coming in as of April 2026, it's going to change into the growth and skills levy. So more flexible training opportunities for employers. So employers won't just be able to sort of support apprenticeships through this. We will be looking at other programs. So it's designing to be more flexible, more specific to the needs of businesses, learners, and specific industries. There is going to be a boost to SMEs or small medium employers. So whereas they had to pay the 5% contribution, and the government would top it up and pay the remaining 95%, the training from 1st of April 2026, they are going to be covering 100% of the training costs. So for SMEs, there'll be no 5% contribution, which is fantastic. Probably one of the main things as an employer to keep an eye on now is that you won't have your 24 months to spend your levy funds. It's going to reduce to 12. So again, we've got some useful information that we're going to go through shortly to sort of help you utilize your levy as much as you can and making sure that you're not, expiring any funds. The automatic 10% government top up is also going to be removed. So employers will only be able to spend the value of their own contributions. And unfortunately, there is going to be a high co-investment. So whereas if you used up your levy, you're then having to, it was only a 5% contribution before, it's going to jump up to 25%. So again, that's where we're going to be able to help you and support you in terms of, looking at your levy pot and how we can spend that wisely and making sure that you are, using what you need to, but also that we can, reduce that element of having to pay that extra 25%. So steps to review your levy pot. So we've got 3 steps here. So we've got monitor, review, and transfer. So I would suggest that the first thing you do is log onto your apprenticeship account, audit your current balance, have a look at what's in there, look at your current learner dashboard. So go under manage your apprentices, look at the current apprentices you've got. And again, I think a lot of employers don't tend to look at manage apprentices too much. So I think it's just making sure that, you're cleansing that system, making sure that all your employees or apprentices, they're live, the learners that need to be stopped are stopped, having a good cleanse. And then the third thing for the first stage would be you can book in your free levy audit. So again, I will go through a bit more information later, but we are here to support you. So we have designed a sort of a free levy audit tool. So we'll arrange a meeting with you. We'll go through, there'll be a questionnaire that we can go through with you, get an idea of what's in your levy pot, what's likely to expire, and then also we can look at potentially who you want to upskill, whether you want to recruit, of which Charlie's going to go on to in a minute. We can help you. That's what we're here for. So we are offering the free levy audit with LMP. So secondly, review. So we would review the results from your audit with yourself. Again, we would support you to look at your workforce development and your strategy. And again, aligning programs with your business goals. So again, with that levy audit, we can support you to look at programs to either upskill current staff, take on new staff, so take on new apprentices. It could be, in line with your CPD, appraisal time, and also what we find is that if you are, again, sort of promoting from within and really looking after your staff, that can really increase employee retention for you. And thirdly, once we've done the audit, once we've done the review, if you've still got funds left over, then we would potentially advise that you transfer those funds. So again, you can transfer up to 25% of your unused funds. You could consider transferring to an SME. So we have lots and lots of employers that are, really keen to support apprentices. And if you're able to transfer some funds that you're not likely to use, we would have lots of employers that would really appreciate that. And potentially consider transferring to a supplier. So you might have suppliers in your supply chain that you might want to support. So again, we can help you. We've got employers that are always looking for transfers. So again, by all means, book in your free levy audit, and we can monitor, review, and then we can potentially look at transferring funds if you need to.
So just moving on to recruitment. So why hire an apprentice? So hiring an apprentice is a productive and effective way to grow talent, develop a motivated, skilled for an apprentice under the age of 25, you can save on you will not pay national insurance, so that can save around £3,000 per employee. That is also if you hire an apprentice or even upskill a current member of staff. The salary for an apprenticeship, the current wage is £7.55 per hour. That does increase to £8 per hour from the 1st of April, and that is regardless of age. So obviously, if you are hiring a new apprentice, anybody would start on the minimum. Or obviously, if you wanted to pay a little bit more, that's entirely up to you. 80% have seen a significant increase in employee retention. So apprentices who train in the company are more likely to stay long term, which again reduces recruitment and training costs. We do work with a talent pool of over 40 candidates that are all eager to kickstart their career and waiting for the right opportunity. The vacancies that we typically recruit for are business administration, teaching assistants, accountancy, and early years. So who can do an apprenticeship? So an apprenticeship is a great paid opportunity for people over the age of 16 in England. So it could be somebody who is early in their career, somebody looking to upskill in their current role, looking for a complete career change, and they're not in full-time education. So the eligibility for an apprenticeship, so you must not hold a qualification in the same field. So you can have an A-level, a degree, but just obviously in a different sector. New recruits employed as an apprentice must be employed, and they must have a contract in place for the full duration of their apprenticeship. Maths and English GCSE aren't required anymore, but for somebody who is like 16 to 18, they would need to do the functional skills alongside their apprenticeship. But if an employee or an apprentice is aged over 19, then the employer can decide if they wish for the functional skills to go alongside. So you can actually opt out of that, which is a new rule. And you must be a resident in the UK for a minimum of 3 years. So how LNP can support you? So we do offer a full free recruitment service. So that's taking away all the hard work of hiring a new staff member. So the recruitment team will advertise all vacancies, check applicants' eligibility and criteria, and we will then forward CVs over to the employer for the employer to review, and then you would let us know whether you would like to interview and then hire. And again, we do arrange all the interviews and everything that you need us to do, we do. Just again, maths and English are no longer needed for learners over 19. So we do use popular platforms to advertise, which is Indeed, the National Apprenticeship Service, Glassdoor and ZipRecruiter. Pre-screening every applicant, making sure they're eligible and suitable for the role. We also work with like 100 referral partners across the UK, and we work to suit you as well. We do offer a fast and an efficient service. So shortlisting candidates with 2 to 3 working days of receiving the vacancy, and we do fill vacancies within 3 weeks of receiving that and advertising. Last year, we did place 500 apprentices into vacancies and also had a good start to this year, filling 70 so far. So just a little bit about the courses that we do offer. So these are all on our website, and each individual course does have a brochure with all the information that you need. So just like early years and childcare, so we offer level 2, 3 and 5, and we also have a coaching in early years launching very soon. Teaching in the education sector, so school administrator, so that is now a pathway dedicated to the education sector. Safeguarding, teaching assistants, level 3 to level 5. We do have the level 5 with HLTA embedded as well. And again, 2 new ones coming soon, which is the coaching in education and the AI and automation practitioner level 5 and 4. So for the business and professional sector, so we offer business admin at level 3, team leader, the LIAS, which is the Library Information and Archive Services, operations manager, and again, the AI launching soon. And the finance is level 2 to level 4. And then medical and NHS is like the safeguard. We have a medical administrator, which is streamlined to the medical sector, and then the medical LIAS as well. Pass back to you.
Perfect. So next steps. What are your next steps whether you're looking at a new hire or an upskill? So step number 1, new hire. If you're looking at a new hire, so we would suggest you either have a current job description or you create your job description for your apprentice. Again, we're happy to advise on potential job descriptions. So if you feel you have a rough job description you wish to send us, we can again liaise with a tutor just to make sure that that job description fits with the apprenticeship standard criteria, so that we're looking at covering the knowledge, skills and behaviours for that. Booking your discovery call. So again, we can support you through the next steps, how to complete your vacancy link, give you up-to-date guidance, and then we can also talk you through the next steps. So point number 2, if you wish to upskill, so if you're looking at current staff rather than taking on a new hire, or you might want to do both, I would definitely say, again, as I mentioned before, review your workforce development, look at your strategy, communicate your opportunity to existing staff. I think a lot of employers are really keen to, again, upskill from within, but I think it's that communication piece. So whether you have regular communication going by the internet or whether you have a newsletter, again, we can support you to help put the information into that. So we do have newsletters and we have lots of information going on to our website very regularly. So again, we can support you to write that communication piece to go out to your current staff. And it could also be supporting staff that might be on a potentially a part-time contract that maybe again wish to progress. So they might be in a different job role but want to progress onto a TA job role, for example. So again, we can support you in that progression, help you look at contracts, advise on hours and making sure that we fulfill the apprenticeship criteria. And again, obviously you can book in your discovery call and we can discuss the next step with you and how we can support you. And then the third point would be at the onboarding. So whether it's a new hire or an upskill or both, we normally would then carry out the pre-enrollment checks to make sure the learner is eligible. So again, going back to what Charlie mentioned in our previous slide, obviously need to make sure they've been based in the UK. We need to make sure that they haven't already completed too much of the potential qualification they're going to be completing. Again, we check contract. And again, we can, most of the apprenticeship durations are worked on a sort of 30-hour week. But we can look at learners on a case by case. So again, I think a lot of employers think that the learners have to be doing a 30-hour week. We do see a lot of learners, and again, we evaluate it on a case by case scenario where learners are doing less than 30 hours. So we can look at that. We can extend the apprenticeship duration. We can also look at whether it's fixed term or permanent contract. So we do have some upskills that either have a permanent contract or some do have a fixed term contract. So again, we can work with yourselves to make sure that the budget's in place, but we can make sure that that contract's extended to cover the apprenticeship duration so that we're not setting up anyone to fail in any way. So once the pre-enrollment checks have taken place, so again, we look at prior English and maths requirements. Charlie did mention functional skills earlier. Some of the employers that we work with require learners to do functional skills or have their grades, which again is fine. We also do other pre-enrollment assessments. We do a Cognosist and there's a BKSB, which is English Maths assessment. Once those checks are taken place, we then will secure the funding with the employer. So that's where we can then align that with the levy audit and make sure you've got the funds in the pot and we can ring fence those funds for your learners. Enrollment takes place. Again, this is all remote and then the learner journey can begin.
Read it. We do
very much.
We do plant a tree for every learner that we do support as well. But yeah, that is everything. So we're happy to go through the Q&A. So if you do have any questions, please put them in the question and answer and we will go through them now. And also there is the QR code on there, which I'll just leave on for a minute. Just if you do want to book a discovery call on there.
I think we might have had a couple of questions actually.
I'll leave this on just a minute and then do you want to go through questions and we try and answer some?
Perfect. So we've got, how can we calculate what's in the levy pot? So you would need to log on to your DAS account. If you then go to the finance / your funding section, you should be able to then see it in there. So you should be able to see the total levy funds that have been paid in. You'd see the monthly government top up, which will be changing. And then you should be able to see what's been spent on apprentices and what's available. So again, it's really important to have a look at what's in your levy pot, especially with the changes coming in, because again, they will be expiring after 12 months rather than 24. Okay, we've got another one. Please tell me more about the levy auditing. So we've organised there's a 3-step approach that we'll be sort of supporting employers with. So the first one would be we've got a levy optimisation questionnaire that we'd send out to you. So you would go through that, fill that out. When you've sent that back to me, we can then review it. And then we would look at sort of creating a bespoke apprenticeship strategy for you. So again, we'd be looking at the data. We'd develop a tailored apprenticeship strategy to support you, making sure that we're, utilising your levy as best we can. And then also it would be looking at potential surplus funds that might be left over. And again, we can sort of talk, as I mentioned earlier, about potentially transferring. And then we'd also create a proposal report and presentation. So again, we're sort of supporting you through the way, and then we can, go through that presentation with you, and then you can use that with your senior leadership teams, and then you can discuss how you want to support your staff going forward. Transferring funds. So transferring funds, that again is completed via your DAS account. So again, you can go to the finance section and transfers. So generally, it's normally set up between two parties, but it's, again, we can support you to do that, not a problem. But it's quite easy to transfer within your DAS account. Okay. Oh, Charlie, there's one for you. Is the recruitment cost completely free?
Yeah, so we do offer a free recruitment service. So that is us advertising, shortlisting candidates, arranging interviews. That is no cost to yourself. Obviously, the only cost to yourself is just the apprenticeship wage.
Okay. One other question. Can someone complete an apprenticeship if they are part-time?
Yeah, just as Anna mentioned earlier, so if somebody is part-time, we do work on a minimum of 30 hours per week. But if somebody was part-time, we would work around it, and it just means that the apprenticeship programme would be extended.
Okay. Right, so we've had a question. So yes, the session is going to be recorded and sent out, so don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We will be sending that out, the recording out today. I'm interested in an apprenticeship teaching assistant. What do I do? Okay, so yes, by all means, you can send us an email with your contact details. If you're already belonging to an account, you'd be sent on to your account manager, who would then liaise with you. But yes, by all means, email through your details and we can get in touch. So again, we do the level 3 and also the level 5. So we would be in contact with regards to your current job role, the level you're interested in, and also we would look at where you're based to support you with the best account manager.
And just to touch on that as well, just for when you receive this recording, there's the email on there that you can contact, or you can go onto our website and fill in the teaching assistant interest form, which will come directly to us as well.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, so I'm new into the role. How do I access the levy pot? We can help you. That's fine. So basically, there will be a link. So there will be a link to the levy account. So is this a question more for if you're in charge of the levy pot, or are you potentially wanting to do an apprenticeship and how you access the levy pot to do an apprenticeship? This question from Natalie. Okay. Hi, Natalie. So yes, if you're school business manager, you should have access to your DAS login. If it was allocated to a previous employee, they might need to give you the details. If you can't get hold of the previous employer that had access to your DAS account, that's fine. We can support you, not a problem, but we would need to get hold of the help desk, and we would need to get you set up from scratch with the help desk. So they would need your email address, and they generally need like a secondary sort of authenticator. So they generally take like a mobile number or something, and they would then be able to text you. So every time you want to log in, you log in with your email, and then they would text you a code that you need to enter. But again, if, by all means, let us know, we can help you. But yes, either we'd probably need to get you set up from scratch anyway, so we'd need to point in the direction of the help desk, and they would need to set you up. Okay, that's fine. So the link's not working. That's fine, Natalie. We can help you. If you provide us with the details, we can help you, not a problem. We can have a look through it together. That's not a problem at all. You're very welcome, Natalie. Happy to help. Okay, any questions? Again, feel free to just drop us an email and we can support you with any questions you might have. There are some useful in terms of the DAS account. It's not the easiest account to navigate. It is a government account. But there are plenty of useful videos and things. Again, we can help you with that. So they did create when they set up back in 2017, when they set up the DAS account, they did create some useful videos, like YouTube videos and things, that will talk you through how to do certain elements. So again, either we can talk you through that, or we can guide you in terms of where to find those helpful tutorials. Okay. I think that might be it. I think that's all our questions answered. Well, thank you very much from myself and Charlie for joining and taking the time out today on Friday the 13th to come and join us. So we really appreciate your time, and thank you for taking part and joining.